What's going on Twitch TV? What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. I am your host, DJ The Force. Here, we talk about different tech tools, software, streaming ideas for the streamer, specifically for Twitch, but a lot of the information I provide can be used on other streaming services. Today's stream is going to be dealing with the issue we've been having with the bots attacking our channels when they actually come in and interfere with our channels. And I kind of want to explain what's going on. So what's happening is that we have these bots that are going out there. They have an individual or individuals are creating dummy accounts, and then they're doing a blast into the streamer's channel. They're either sending a ton of follows, they're either coming in with racial slurs or inappropriate conversation. They're actually trying to take over the commands of the stream. They're basically trying to impede the streamer from actually streaming. And that has become a problem, because especially for those streamers who have special alerts and things going on, they tend to interfere with our streamers listening. So we want to give you some tips, some tricks, tips, and pointers to get your stream working, or stop them from doing that. Some of that I want to show you. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to actually go to my channel, and when I go to my channel, I'm actually not going to have the actual stream up. I hit the wrong switch here. I'm going to actually I'm gonna bring the page up, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Is some little things and tips that you can do to help get the bots out of your stream. So without further ado here, I'm going to go ahead and set up so that I can get the everything up going for you. So we got this here. All right, so you see it in the background here, what I'm going through, but we're going to actually switch over to a better scene so you can take a look at this. So here's your channel here. What I want to do, for the sake of the stream and not have you constantly seeing the repeat background, I'm going to have a switch over to mod view. Just want to let you know, even though I'm in mod view, if you're on a your regular chat screen, or even if you're mobile, some of these things you can do from those devices. But I did want to take away that screen so you guys can not have that mirrored effect while I'm going through the different portions of the what we need to do. So what we have here, and I know we talked about it before, so I'm not going to go into any great detail about it, just talk about it. You have your mod actions here, your auto mod queue information, you have your chat, you have your chat tools. You can see who's actually in the room from the mod view. You can actually see in the mod actions the history of what the mods have done. What's going on, DJ T-Rail? What I want to do is I want to take a look at the activity feed. So here's your activity feed. It actually lets you know who did what and when they did it. Most of the bots that we have come across, and there is a link with a whole list of bots that I may be showing you a little bit later in the stream, but I want to talk about them separately. You have your main culprit right here. He's listed as Hoss 00312 something. And with that something is how they get in. They keep reinventing the name, and I just want to scroll through and see if there's other instances of them being in the stream. And we're going through it, and I don't see any recent any other times that they've actually came in, but we can go with the one that did come in. I'm just going through it again just to make sure. And I don't see any other ones in there. So, but like I say, generally the name is Haas, and it's 00312, and then behind that they'll change it. They'll make it underscore something, or they'll change the name. The one that we have that I've recently seen on the stream was Haas Purpose, Haas 0012 Purpose. So whether you're on a computer or on a mobile device, if you see a variation of that particular name, you just simply ban them out of there, and simply you just go into the chat room, ban, and then it asks for the name of the person. If you notice, you can even give a reason why you're banning that particular ID, but it's not required. So you just put in ban, and just type in the name of the user. Once you do that, you just hit enter. So now, with the particular one that I just banned, I also reported that person, so they've probably deleted the ID. But once you put the command in there, the line, instead of it saying user trying to ban does not exist, it'll actually tell you that particular user is being banned or has been banned from the channel. If the user has already been banned, it'll tell you that the user has already been banned from that channel. So to give you an idea, there is another one that we saw in there. The username is gun followed by something. So GUN, and I'm going to use that W2. And if you look on my board here he is right there. So I'm going to say ban that one. And what's going to happen? That person is currently banned from this channel. So I've already banned this person, but if he wasn't banned, it would say at that point, this person can be banned. So in the course of going through this, there are instances where they will actually target a streamer and they will pop, or they will send anywhere from 3 to 100 follows at the same time, and then begin the intrusion onto the channel, meaning that they'll begin to try and take over the channel. They'll try and put the commands in. They'll try and put racial slurs or things of that nature in there. And their goal to bombard a channel is not to do it fast enough for the mod to interact. But what the mod can do is, if the mod changes the chat into subscriber mode, it stops the bot temporarily, because that means you have to purchase a subscription from that streamer so that you can interact in the chat. Yes, I know. And we're going to talk about that in a minute after we get through with that, because there's some things I want to tell mods and streamers to do. So basically, this also can be done whether you have a computer or if you're running mobile. You basically just put in the command right there, subscriber, and then you hit enter. Now, at this moment, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, you cannot say anything in my chat. This blocks people who are not subscribers from saying stuff. It gives the mod time to actually remove the bots without interfering with the stream. The streamer can then just announce we've just been infiltrated by a bot. We're in subscriber mode so that we can get them out the room, but I didn't want to interrupt your listening pleasure, so I'm going to have it switch to this mode so the mods can take care of them. Once the mods have gotten rid of the bots, all they have to do is use the subscriber off option, and then you're out of subscriber mode. So that helps you to be able to police them while you're trying to get them out the stream without having a major impact on the stream. I have actually seen some streamers who actually run in subscriber mode and will only switch out at a raid to let the new raiders come in, say something, give the raid icons, and then announce that, hey, due to the bot, we're switching to subscriber mode. We're not trying to alienate you, but we want you to participate in the chat, but I want to switch back over so that we can stop those bots from doing what they're doing. Not everybody's going to be favorable with that. That's why I do suggest, if you want your followers and listeners to be able to interact, just have a mod ready to be able to go into the subscriber mode in case there's a bot intrusion. And I'll even add to that, if you have more than one more than one moderator, you probably would look at dedicating that moderator to specifically look for those bots and intrusions so that they can quickly get them out. I know we try and get our mods to be as versatile as possible, but especially when you hit a moment when they interrupt your stream, you want that mod to be on the spot to be able to correct that and get that out the way. What's going on, DJ James Dark Knight? What's going on, Wild Rose Onyx Heart? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just checking on the Twitch and the Facebook and the YouTube side to see if I got any people that's saying anything there. I don't see them. I'm going to keep going on with the stream. Now, here's something where we can be proactive with getting these bots out of our streamers' streams. Moderators, if you mod for multiple streamers and you notice that one of your streamers has been hit with the bot, make sure you ban that same bot from all of your streamers. You don't have to be online to actually ban people. You just actually go to their channel, go into their chat, and then you can begin banning them when they're offline. What I have been doing here with Club Force, the Club Force mods have been going into the Club Force DJs and streamers' streams that they mod for, and they have been going in and banning the bots, whether they're online or not. And you don't have to wait for them to get there to ban them, just ban them and get them out the way. That way you're not being defensive, you're becoming proactive, and then that streamer can't interrupt that stream. So I know a couple of the mods may have not known that, but I'm just saying that as a word for all the mods for Club Force. If you stream from multiple DJs or multiple streamers, please, when you see a bot, ban them from all the channels that you mod for. And if they're offline, because I'm not saying don't interrupt or don't come away from the live streamer, because they're going to need you then. But when you're available and you know your other streamers may get that person, go offline and take it out for them. You'll be surprised on how much that'll improve the stream because they're already banned from people that they haven't even looked at. The other thing I want to say that I've noticed, not saying this is official, this is just an observation. I noticed that I receive my intrusions approximately 30 minutes after a raid. And when I say after a raid, I mean whether I'm being raided or whether I'm in a raid. I've noticed that within 30 minutes, sometimes I've seen it go somewhere like 37 minutes, 38 minutes, the bot intrudes offline to my channel. Because sometimes they do that because if you're offline, you're not monitoring your chat. And if you don't have any notifications that pop up, if you're not reading your emails telling you who's following you, and you're not looking at your activity feed when you're offline, they're sneaking on and then they're waiting for you to come online so that they can attack you and you not know they're there. So that's why I'm saying to become very proactive, going out there and not telling, but going into your streamers' streams and taking them out before they even go online. So those are some special tips and or tricks that I wanted to give you for that. We want to make sure that we're monitoring who the people are. We want to make sure, or who the bots are. We want to make sure that we're actively getting them out when they come in, switching to subscriber mode if they do a massive intrusion, and also checking your offline streamers to make sure they also did not infiltrate their rooms, and then watch for them, particularly around a raid. With that said, there's a couple of things that I wanted to take a look at in regards to this topic. And what I want to do here what I'm doing is I actually have a link I want to provide you so that you streamers can, and mods, that's the other thing I wanted to say. Mods, make sure you're checking your stream or your channel as well, because they're coming in with the raids. So if you're in a raid, they have probably attached to your channel. It's not affecting you because you're not streaming, but they're getting in when we do raids, and they have to be tracking somebody. So mods, I do want you to also check your streams or your channel to make sure they haven't followed you as well. Because we do get so involved in the streamer that we forget about ourselves sometimes. One of the tools that was very helpful to us, and I'm going to do two things with it. I'm going to give you the URL in the chat, and then we're going to actually go there as well. All right, so the link that I just put in the chat is the Twitch tool to look at the block list or people that have been blocked on your stream. So we're going to take a look at that. So what happens is when you use that link, it brings you to this channel. It says Twitch Tools by Commander Root. And I want you people to understand and want you to know that Commander Root is a Twitch bot. When you ban Commander Root, you ban features of Twitch. This is one of them. So when you go to this page, it actually asks you to log on to your Twitch account. So it doesn't just go straight in. It asks for your permission before you go in. So then you have to select it. Because I've already been here, it already did it. But then it asks you to give authorization to access your Twitch channel. So now with you logged in, you have several things you can look at. You have, for example, your follower remover, which is right here. Each one, and that's what I want to say. It asks for authorization before you use each of the features. So we're going to authorize. So now you can look at your follow list. And I'm scrolling real fast because we're starting to get into personal information here. So I'm just letting you see that you can scroll through it. And then you have the option of checking your followers list to make sure that there are no bots. Or if you question it, you can actually look more into it. Let's scroll back to the top. You have options. You can actually do this offline. You can actually export it to an Excel spreadsheet so that then you can actually filter offline the ones that you think are the bots. And then from there, you can do a more intelligent search online to actually be able to remove them. You have also up here your followers list viewer, where you can actually check the followers for a specific user. You have your chat ban manager. And like I say, each one of them, you have to give them permission to go into. So now, there is, and here's what I was saying earlier, there are different variations. These are people that have been banned from my channel. And there are different variations for one of Hoss. There's a Hoss there. And I saw some more Hosses, but you know, y'all are probably sitting in the room saying, I can see them and I don't. There's a Hoss there. There's a Hoss there. So they got very different names. There's a Hoss there. There's a Hoss there. There's a Hoss there. And then you have the history of everybody that's been banned and who banned them. Now, this can be exported to an Excel document as well, so that you can possibly share it with your fellow streamers and say, hey, I noticed all these bots. I've already removed them. You may want to have your mod remove these bots as well because they were causing problems on my channel. You have in here your clip. I'm reading ahead. Your block list manager. Those have been blocked from your channel. Clip manager, video manager, and I'm not really going through all the features that are there. I'm focusing specifically on the features to help you to help you with removing the bots from your scenes. So again, if you want, please copy that link, because that link will be very useful in getting yourself equipping yourself to better handle the streams and better handle problems that you're going to have with these bots intruding your channel. And I'm just going through a few things here, making sure I got everything I wanted to cover in that particular portion of it. So that is a best way that I think. I'm not saying that I'm the expert. I'm not saying that I have it down pat. We're all learning in progress, or in process, however you want to look at it. But now this helps you to be better equip yourself to be able to handle your intrusions. And I know, like I said, for Club Force streamers that I'm a mod on, and I know Miss Sexy E has been going on some of the channels, and JB Wright 77 been going on some of the channels. If we mod for you, we're kind of in the background, kind of helping you get those bots out of your channel, even when you're offline, so that when you come on, you have the best experience possible. Because if, like I say, even earlier, Wild Rose Onyx Heart talked about how she was bombarded, and when she was bombarded, it was bad timing. I won't say what happened, but bad timing. But we don't want that to happen again. So that's what I wanted to cover as far as having your bot information together. If you know of people who don't have the time to visit the stream, please remind them that they can actually look at this video either by watching it in Twitch in my history. It'll be available for, I believe, 14 days there. And then I'm streaming to YouTube for the express purpose of having it recorded somewhere that you can go back and look at it at a later time. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand good ways to get those bots out of your system. Good evening, DJ Scribble. What's going on with you? So I hope that section really helps out, really allows you to enjoy or improve the experience of your streams. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I got to find it, something that I learned about just a few moments ago. And when I say a few moments ago, I mean just prior to the stream. Just a little fun thing that we can do. All right, DJ Scribble. If you got any questions about it, let me know. When we get to the end, we'll be fielding questions. Again, like I said, the video will be available on Twitch after I come offline for 14 days, and then it will be on YouTube under my channel. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that is my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and subscribe, and then you can look at the previous Tech Talks. You can even look at some of my church services. But here is the feature that I wanted to look at, and it's here behind me. It's Word on Streams. This app allows you to interact with your stream and with your listeners or followers while you're on a live stream. They are actually able to answer or find words by placing the words in the chat and it actually allows it actually records the streamer actually putting in the word, and it actually gives you scores on what's going on. Yeah, I just learned about this today. So we're actually going to try it out together. And I got to give a shout out to Uber Ants. Uber Ants did have this available. So he started with it. We played with it for about an hour. And I tell you that I almost did not do this tech talk because that's what I want to do. We almost did not do the tech talk today because I was so engrossed with playing the game with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn together because I watched it as a player. I did not do anything as the streamer. So we're going to learn how to do it. And what I can do, I'll do this before we start. I'm going to give you in the chat the link so that streamers can actually if my keyboard acts right. There we go. Okay, so that's the link there. So let's take a look at it. Now I will say this. It does require interaction from the streamer as well as the followers or the individuals in the chat. So you mobile people, you won't be able to type as fast as the people that are on computers with keyboards. So don't get too frustrated with it, but it is good, clean fun. So I've already logged in, and we can look at this. Before we do that, we can look at the settings. It has its sound effects. It has its own music. For the sake of the chat, or this particular stream, I'm going to turn the music off because it's going to interfere with the music. And then you have the option of setting it to autopilot so that it can just play, which is a cool feature. You can actually, and I'm just thinking in my head because that's probably what I'll do with the stream. I'll actually turn it on and let it run. And then in the background, while I'm playing music, the chatters have something to do. They can spell name. They can play the game while I'm playing the music, or I can sit down and interact with them. For the sake of learning, I'm going to leave it off. It looks like you do have to add a browser source into your streaming software. So I'm going to copy the link. And we've done this for a while. I'm assuming that you know how to add a source in your OBS software. So I'm not bringing that screen up to show you that portion. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding the browser source. I'm naming the browser source. It's called Word on Stream. So I'm just going to name it WOS. I'm going to put in the URL. Shut down with that. Click done. Okay, so now I have added it. I will say this about OBS. And I guess when I said I wasn't going to do it, I'm probably going to end up doing it. I noticed that OBS, as you add more scenes, more sources, it begins to slow down your OBS versions. I'm coming to the understanding that that is partly because we have a habit of creating multiple sources for the same thing, and it's running in the background. So I've learned, instead of creating a new source every time I open up a new scene, I copy the information from the previous scene that I want to use and paste it into the new scene. So that way it's only one instance of that source, so that you're not bogging down your OBS. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to now switch over to the screenshot. Pull that up. And we're going to switch over just for a moment. So what I do, instead of creating this source again, I actually right mouse click the source. I actually copy the source. I take the source where I want to put it. And then I paste the reference. Now, this makes it the same reference that's in the original source that I made. So it's one, and I'm just giving it this way. If it's taking up 2% of your processor to run this particular source, instead of you making 6 or 7 of them, taking 14% of your processor, you've only made one that's only taken 2%, and it's been being told by OBS to show in all screens. So I hope that makes sense, that you can do that. So I've actually done that. And I'm going to move this down here. And we're going to switch from we got the grandbaby over today. He wants to be bossy. So let's see here. We want to switch over. Turn that on. Switch the transition over to the page. And I got something in the background from Thursday stream that I don't want, so let's take that out. So now, here we have the stream ready to play. So I'm going to go ahead, and then I'm going to start the game, and we're going to see what happens. So it gives you a countdown, 1, and now you actually can play and try and spell the words that are in here in the time frame it gives you. So now, if I go to my chat, I see a word. I say Maine. I type in Maine. When I hit enter, it recognized that I typed it in. So we can try another one. Male. Now, for any streamer that's watching on Twitch, if you type in a name, or if you find a word that's in there that you can make out of those words there, then you type it in the screen and it gives you credit for it. Ooh, Miss Sexy E heard that and she came running back up in here. So now Miss Sexy E is going to find a word that's in there. And as soon as she typed it in, you notice not only did it say the word was found, it said Miss Sexy E is the one who found the word. So it's interactive with your stream. It has to be 4 letters or more. That's right, DJ Scribble. Yep, you just type it in and as you notice it, as you put it in, it shows up. So now, there is no question of who put the word in first. The chat is going to register it by the first person who puts the name or the word in there. So there is no foul play. There is no unfair because the streamer is not doing nothing but starting it. Once the game is over, which it is, it then tells you the score and who did what. So now we've completed level 1 of this stream and it's saying who was the winner of that particular round. And now the game's over. So now as the streamer, and let me switch screens so I can show you what I'm talking about when I say as the streamer. All right, to the transition. Okay, so now as the streamer, all you're doing is selecting to start the game. This then goes into your OBS with your browser source. So we'll switch back over to that. And we're going to try another game, level 2. We're going to go ahead and hit start. The timer goes off. And there you are. You start putting in your information. Now, I will say there are some things that will slow you down. Internet speed will be a major factor. So some people will see the information before I actually do it. So it was actually at a guess, a 10-second delay from me doing it live versus me seeing it come into the stream. So now you have a nice nifty attention getter, I'll call it, because now you have people who's able to type in and do words on stream while you're doing whatever you're doing. For mobile people, to enjoy extra features, you can scan to join the game. I don't know. I need to look at that. I could probably do it now because I'm like, if I see the scan to be on the game, I'm kind of on the game, but then there's extra features that are there, I guess, for mobile devices that if you scan it, you can actually do more. And you're actually seeing everybody play. And what happens is as the level goes up, and then those locks tell you how much time you got left if you didn't notice that. As the levels go higher, it becomes more and more difficult to find words. And it doesn't give you the answer, so it's not a case that you can come see the letters and then go to another stream and learn it in case they use the same algorithm. It doesn't give you the answers, it just tells you how far you got. So we found 4 out of 15 words in that round. Game over, try again. Miss Sexy E got 24 stars. DJ Wild Rose Onyx Heart got 7 stars. So now I could run the rest of the tech talk just on this, and y'all would have a ball. That look was the grandbaby was into something. All right, y'all. Y'all want to try another game? Miss Sexy already yelling, yeah. All right, let's try another game. And I think this time I'll even be a part of it. Look at Miss Sexy with the big word zebra, figuring stuff out. So with that, the game is over. And now we have enough points because we never put in enough words to make it past level 1. We just now made it to level 2. So now this is great, and I want to say when you want to have those streams that you want interaction, but you want them to be able to interact not so much with you, but with you, if that makes sense. So, like I say, when I'm DJing with them playing this in the background, I can play the music. My listeners are engaged in playing the game, and yes, though I'm still interacting with them, they don't need as much interaction if they're just sitting there watching me play music and me switch through my scenes. I can even set it up, or you can, as a streamer, can even set it up that there are segments that you can do that. You have this for a segment for 3 or 4 games. You go back to your regular scenes, you do what you do, and then you bring it back up. Hey, you guys want to play another game? And then we can start it over. See, this game right here is an addictive game that'll keep you playing all night. What do you think of that? So that's what we got today. Jess Queen, what's going on, sis? Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesdays. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. So we were just talking about new things. We're talking about primarily ways to get around the bot and stop those Autobots from sound like Transformers. Stopping those Autobots from coming in and interfering with your stream. Thank you for the host, DJ Scribble. Some tips and tricks that we did that I supply for moderators as well as the streamers on how to be able to proactively attack the bots before they attack you. And at this point, I'm going to open the floor for questions. And if we got any questions that we want to bring up, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I know, for example, that Just Queen was interested in doing the all request segments, and she wanted a little help with that. If you have a few minutes, I can walk you through it. I don't know if you're mobile or on your desktop or laptop. If not, we can play another game. And for Just Queen, just to let you know what I mean by game, I was, thanks to Uber Ants, I was able to get an app for us to actually play games on the streams. Okay. Then we can actually take a look at it. Are you a Streamlabs or a Stream Elements person? I don't remember. And I'll say we can set up either or, but I'm still having issues with Streamlabs and displaying the video. But I do have it where the audio can come into the stream by request. They put in the request, and then the audio can come in, and you have to have your own video or own things to keep them busy. I mean, it's a great combination. You can actually play Word on streams and then have a request set, and then they're totally engaged because they're putting in music and they're playing the game. So then you can actually have segments and say, okay, y'all, we're going to play the game. After we play the game and the round is over with, we can say, all right, y'all may want to put some songs in. I'm going to give you a few minutes to put some songs in. We're going to recognize the new people in the stream. We're going to be able to talk to the people for a few minutes, give them time to put in a few songs, and then boom, go back to the game. Welcome back, DJ James Dark Knight. All right, so let's go ahead here, and I will take go to Streamlabs. Oh, real simple. Let me switch back before we go there. And I want to give an awesome shout out to Uber Ants because he's the person who introduced me to it today. We played with it for a while on his stream, and then we were able to test it out here just now. Copy paste. All right. So that's the link to it. Basically, you go to the web page. When you go to the web page, it asks you to log into your Twitch account. You take and copy the browser source. You go into the settings. Once you have it, once you're in there, you go into the And let me switch over to the big screen so that I can show you what I'm talking about. You go into the settings here. You can decide what you want on, your sound effects, your music. If you're playing music, you don't need music on. You copy this link, and then you add a browser source in your OBS software to play the game. That simple. So while I'm on that screen, we can go ahead and go to Streamlabs OBS, and I forgot to pay the bill, y'all, just before the set. So I had to pay the bill before I actually streamed. So let's go through the areas that you need to go to. So you need to go to your CloudBot. You want to go to Modules. You want to go to Media Share. And then you want to turn Media Share on. Now, it's a personal preference. I have a personal preference. With Streamlabs OBS, you can't initially do a search by name and artist. You have to put in the URL for the YouTube. There is a way to set it up to do that, but that requires some scripting that I have not looked up yet. And I'm noticing that my camera is in the way for you guys to see. So I'm going to turn my camera off for a second here. Okay, so now you go here and you turn your media source on, or your media share on. You go in your preferences. Inside of your preferences, you get to determine what's going to be what. It says make sure that you configure the media share widget and your widget settings, which I will show you in a few minutes. You have your queue limit, how many songs you want in there. You can set how long the song can be. So if you don't want a 10-minute song in there, you make sure that you don't put. You can change that to be below 600 seconds because it is in seconds. You can put in how many requests per user that can be put in. You can maximize that. You can add a vote option. If 5 people vote to move to the next track, it will go to the next track. You can actually tell it to limit to only music. I don't have that checked because every so often I'll do a stream and we'll watch a YouTube show. And I don't want I use a media request instead of going through the headache of pulling the browser source back. I can use the media share option, find the show, and then air it. These settings are only for your listeners. Your mods and the streamer are not necessarily bound by these guidelines. So even though I have it set at 600 seconds or 10 minutes to have a video, if I put in an hour-long YouTube show, these settings don't apply to me. Once you have, the next thing is you have your spam security level. When you do this, you have to understand that you have to abide by the copyright agreement that YouTube has with the end users. So your EULA agreement. So to make sure that you are complying to that, you have a section here that has a security level that stops you from stopping your streamer or even your listener from putting in content that may not follow the guidelines that YouTube is giving to Streamlabs. So the higher you set the security level, the more likelihood you are following their agreement. And just to give you an example of one thing, where it's set here, I have it at 1. That allows at least for newer streamers to be able to be searched and found on YouTube. If I set it to 0, anything can come in. But even at 1, if the streamer just came on and it's his first video that he's posted, it probably will not be able to be shown on my channel because of the security setting I have. Once you have the security setting, then you go ahead and select save. It says save here in the corner. And then that portion of it's done. The next thing I recommend you doing is actually going into your commands. And before I really go into my commands, I'm going to stop to see if there was a question out there. There is not a question out there. So I'll go back to my commands. So basically, in your commands, you have your custom commands. You have your default commands. Inside of your default commands should be the command for song request. My grandson is really having fun over there. Can't y'all hear that? He's eating. And while I'm talking to y'all about that stuff, I probably went right by Media Share. Let's go back up. Media Share. So, Media Share has a request, has explanation request as the default command to pull up YouTube videos or to request YouTube videos. What I typically do is go into the settings. Let me make sure I got it right. Yep. Go into settings, go into advanced, and then create an alias. And I may be in the wrong. Nope. Yep. Create an alias. So if you've been on your average channels that does media requests, they give you to say, use the command !SR followed by the name of the artist, the name of the song, or the YouTube video URL. For here, it has to be strictly right now the YouTube video URL. But instead of you having to use the command request, you can actually set up aliases by putting in the name of the alias and then hitting add alias. So I've already put in !SR, !song request, because that's the two that most of the other streaming sites use for that command so that you're able to run the request. Once you do that, you hit confirm. Oh, I should say while you're in there, you should make sure that everybody has access to it. But if you're doing something special, you can actually just have it for your subscribers, your moderators, your streamers, so that they're able to also, so you can limit what they can put in there. And I want to give you the original reason why Streamlabs set this up. This is set up to be a revenue generator. That's what it was originally set up for. Your streamers were able to put in little segments of a video, and they would actually cheer you on Streamlabs to actually put in the request. And then there's a command that you put in stream in your feed, so that, or on your chat channel, so that they can use the command and do it directly from your stream instead of going into Streamlabs. And I just want to say right there, in case you are not aware, if you use Streamlabs as we do, you have a Streamlabs channel. And people who are on Streamlabs can actually come here as opposed to going to Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. So you can actually have a separate following on your platform because they're watching you from Streamlabs. That's also great if you don't want to use Twitch and you want to put it on your own home page. If you have your own custom URL or custom website, you can actually load that up here, and then you're able to run it. They can actually view it from there. So that may explain to you why when you go to when you go look at your stats, when you go to your creator dashboard and you look at your views, you have views from other sources. That's because they're looking from sites such as Streamlabs to watch your stream. Good evening, Miss Classy. Thank you for joining us today. You're right on time because we're talking about Streamlabs and we're talking about doing the all request. So once you're in your media share, you make sure that your request is on. You make sure that you give it the level of access to the people that you want that you want to be able to interact and actually give, be able to make requests on your channel. Once you've done all that set up, the next thing you would need to do is go into all widgets. Inside of your all widgets, you have a media share widget. You click on the media share widget. Here's the custom URL that you put in to put it into your OBS studio, your OBS Live. If you are using Streamlabs OBS, this is already built into OBS, and you just need to click it, and you can do it directly from Streamlabs OBS, and I'll show you that in a minute. So once you do that, you can set how much the charge is per second, the minimum amount to share. You can separate subscriber price per second, meaning subscribers pay one price, non-subscribers pay a different price. You set the duration max. Prioritize donations. If you do turn on the subscriber option or the purchase option, this sets it so that if they purchase to watch the video or they cheer to watch the video, their videos rise straight to the top, and then the followers and non-purchasers will have to wait until the people that purchase their video, they have to wait for theirs to complete before it actually will allow theirs to go through. You can set the buffer time. I got it set 30 seconds between each video. The spam security, again, here I have it set to 2. And I don't know how that impacts if I have it set default to 1, but set it to 2 here. And then if you want to see the media progression bar or not, and even if you want to change the color of the media share when you're going out, when it goes out. So that's the way it looks when you do it from the website. What I'm going to do is show you what it looks like if it comes from OBS, meaning Streamlabs OBS. And little kids just can't walk, they gotta jump. Weigh 5 pounds and stomp like they weigh 100. So now we're looking at Streamlabs OBS. So you just go to your sources, select your source, and over here in the widgets section, there is your media share option. So if you're inside of OBS Studios, you can actually, instead of going to the website, you can actually configure it here. So you would click this. It gives you an overview of what it is here. You click Add Source. Once you click Add Source, for your first one, it'll give you the name of the video. You can name it yourself, so we're just going to say test vid. Once you do your test vid, then you get to configure you get to see those same settings that you saw inside of. Okay, all right, Miss Classy. You get to set your parameters right here, and we can go back through it, Miss Classy. That's not a problem. Now, here's the problem where I'm having issues that I have to work at. What should be happening here is that I should see the preview for the video, but it's telling me it can't find my page. It says we are unable to find this broadcaster. So I need to research why it's giving me this error message whenever I try to load the page. But once you've done all that, you click Done. And then it allows you to put the video and size it on your screen. It'll be blank. And then what's supposed to happen is when your first video is placed in the queue, then it should display the video here. Okay, I want to take it out so I'm not confused later on. It would display the video here, and then you would be able to go ahead and play it. So that's the way you would do it inside of OBS Studios. I want to go back to the OBS website because there's one more thing you have to do. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's just my browser and I need to clear my cookies and cache. But to me, it looks like they've removed from the menu some very basic information that you need to run the stream, but you can still do a search for it. The next thing you will have to do is actually access your recent events. Right here. See, now that I put it, it's over here, but it wasn't there just prior to me doing that. So if you don't know about your recent events area, this is where all your events areas are, your alerts, your redemptions, your music player. If you're loading music directly to OBS, live actions, and then your new chat highlighter. Chat highlighter allows you to actually put questions on the screen from OBS Studio as opposed to using something like Restream to put it up or StreamYards or even the feature chat that we use here on the channel. So they have actually incorporated you being able to put your chats on the live on your live stream. It won't. I was just going to say I'm in Stream Elements. Here's a perfect example. So once it only highlights when you're in the stream in that tab, and then you can pin it to the screen. And when you pin it to the screen, you now should see a message pop up on the screen saying that it's there, and that's providing that I have that feature built into this particular scene. And I don't think I have it in the scene, so you didn't actually see it. But yes, I did. There you are. So wham, on the stream, you see the question that was put in the chat. So now, and that's just another thing, and these are things I'm showing you here on Tech Talk Tuesdays, ways to improve your stream, get more information out for you so that you can interact better with your listeners or followers. But we're talking about the media source screen. So now, here is your media source screen or media share screen. This is how you control how the videos go on the queue. So what would happen is, what's going on, DJ Hams? So what happens is here now you can wait for the request to come in. What will happen is your request will appear in your pending queue. And depending on your settings, either it'll automatically go into your queued media, or you have to accept it individually or select all. Once it moves from down here to up here, then it's ready to play up here. Then you simply click play, and then when you hit play, the actual song begins to play in your OBS. You have the option here to hide the video or show the video. And then here are your settings for this particular tab, or you can go straight to the settings from this particular site. I may click the report an issue because I can't get this boy to display the video whenever it's running. So what happens now is from this point, you're able to use the SR or the request command to add the request to the video. Again, unfortunately with Streamlabs, it doesn't let you put in the name and the artist. It lets you put in the YouTube URL. So you would have to have the YouTube URL. You would just copy and paste it into the chat, SR space, the URL for the YouTube video you want. You hit chat or click chat or hit enter, and then it drops into the queue. And I'm going to pause just for a second here to grab any questions. What's going on, DJ Houseboy? All right, Miss Classy, I'm going to go back with that in just a second so I can show you. So to go through it one more time, let's start with the Streamlabs website. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to your CloudBot. Once you're at your CloudBot, you want to go to Modules. Once you're there, you want to go to your media share, and then you want to enable your media share option. Once you have it enabled, you want to go to your preferences. And then you want to set up the parameters you want the videos to go, the number of videos in the queue, the duration of the video, how many videos can be requested by user, how many people it needs to take to skip a video. You set your security level. Okay, so you got all that together. Once you've done all that, at the bottom you hit save your settings. You save your settings. It confirms in the corner here that it's been saved. Once you do that, you go over to your commands. You want to go to your default commands. You want to go down to your media share section. You want to make sure that your video, your media share options are turned on, and then set the access level for what you want people to be able to do. One thing I suggest is inside of the request command, because Streamlabs uses the command requests for its videos. You may want to go ahead and edit that. Go into an advanced and then create aliases so that you can run the SR command or the song request command, and you just type in what you want it to do. What alias you want to use, and then hit add alias, and then it comes down to this list right here. So to give you an example, I'll delete it out, and the command is SR. Once I put in SR, I hit alias, and now the SR command is available. Once you do that, you hit confirm. You're still at preferences. Okay. And Just Queen, let me know also if I'm going too fast for you as well. So you want me to go back to preferences. And is this preferences for the command or back to the modules? So we go to preferences. So if I understand you correctly, this is where we're at. So the queue limit is I have 100 videos that can be put in a queue at one time. I set the number kind of high here just for showing, but basically I factor out how long I'm going to do the set, and then I put that number in based on that. The average video is going to be 3 to 4 minutes. So if I want to do an hour stream, I don't need that many videos, so I can actually lower the number and say, give me 20, give me 10. I think it's more like 20 for an hour. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm doing an average of 4 minutes divided by that. Goes in there one time, goes in there 2 times. So like 13 videos will give me an hour. So I could actually say, give me a queue limit of 13 tracks. And once 13 tracks are put in there, it cuts the queue off, and you no longer can add songs. So you know you have enough to run for that hour set. You should set the spam security based on your personal preference. I have it set here at 1 because all this spam security does is it's to make sure that you're staying in agreement with YouTube based on the agreement, the relationship between YouTube and Streamlabs. The security, the spam level prevents certain videos from filtering into your stream, even if they request it. The example that I gave that was kind of innocent, but with the security level set at 1, if a streamer comes on and it's their first video that they've uploaded and they have no views on that video, and you happen to be the first person to see that video and request it, because of my security setting, it can't filter in and it will be rejected because YouTube hasn't really had time to review that streamer because it's their first video. Also, if they have 2 risque videos, you don't want that showing up on your screen or stream, then you can set the security level. If you don't want all that profanity when you request the songs, you set the security level higher so that when they put in the request, it's only going to pull clean versions. And just to give you some examples, I don't know the exact numbers, but then if you look at the bottom there, it's giving you kind of an idea. Low, 65% rating, 5,000 plus views. If you set it to medium, it's 75% rating, and the streamer has to have 40,000 views. High, and just go through it. It kind of gives you an idea. So it's really looking at the algorithm of YouTube, and if you have the security level set to a certain level, it won't let videos pull up that it's below that threshold. So that's what the spam security does. And again, once you have all that set, you go ahead and hit save settings, and then it confirms the save on the screen. Okay, next step is going into the commands, going into your default commands. Scrolling down to your media share section, making sure whichever media options you want are turned on, and you have the obviously the option to request songs, to show the video information, to skip a video, to veto a video, adjusting the volume, blacklist a video, and if they have a wrong video. So I recommend that when you, with a request, to make it easier, you create an alias by going into the editor and then advanced, and then you can create an alias by adding the command there, typing in whatever abbreviations that you want to use. The examples I have here is SR and song request. But if I wanted to flip the script and call it request song and say RS, I just type in that what command I want it to be, and then hit add alias, and then it gets added to the list. So now if somebody is I won't say what I thought in my head. If someone gets it backwards and puts it in RS instead of SR, it still will let the request go through. Once you selected that, you just confirm it. So edit is a little pencil right here. Okay. I see, Miss Just Queen. You had to put me on the big plasma TV. So did you find the editor, DJ Miss Classy? Right. So you're going into right, your commands default. You're scrolling down to media share, and then next, the line that has exclamation point request, you're going all the way to the right, and you're hitting the pencil. Once you do that and you have that all set up, then you have your media share options enabled. And then the next thing that needs to be done is to add the source onto your OBS, whether it be Streamlabs OBS, OBS Studio, or OBS Live. You would actually have to go to the widgets section, and I'm just talking through it. Yep, edit commands. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the widgets. So you select all widgets. You select media share right here. Then from here, you can copy the URL. If you're using OBS Studio and OBS Live, you can actually use this to copy the browser source so that you can set it up. If you're using Streamlabs OBS, it's in your widget section when you add your source. So basically here it is on the website, and I'm going to switch over to OBS in a second. Because you can do it from either spot, but you set up your parameters here. If you're going to charge for your videos, how much per second, or how much you're going to share, period. You can prioritize those donations so that if you do set a price, they get top billing, top preferences, so that they don't have to wait through the stream to see their videos. It goes straight to the top of the queue. You can once again set spam security level here. You can set the color that you want to display for the widget. And then here is your show banned media section, so you can show the media of the songs that have been banned from your stream that you can that you handle. Once you have that, you hit Save Settings. If you're using OBS Studio, OBS Studio. If you're using Streamlabs OBS, you just simply add a source, and then over here in the widget section, you have your media share option. When you select that, you can add the source. I never ran across it. As you saw in my example, everything's at 0. So I'm going to pull it up here and take a look at it. Media share, we'll just call it media share because I'm going to get rid of it as soon as we're done. So then when we hit open this, you set your price per second, the amount. Like I say, I don't know why it's saying you have to do at least 1 cent because I have mine set at 0. Where does it say that? Does it say it in the price per second or then the minimum amount to share? When you say the other number, because both numbers I have set to 0. Price per second is 0, and then the minimum amount is set to 0. Yes, you need to physically type 0. You can't leave it blank. That may be what it is. All right, DJ Scribble, thank you for stopping in. And if y'all not, please make sure you're following DJ Scribble. That's right, it's the Tuesday Tickler with DJ Scribble. Did I sound like you right there? Really? Are you doing it and directly from Streamlabs, or are you on the browser? Disable it. So the way I have it on the browser is I have it set, I physically, and you may want to do this. Oh, I see what you're coming across. I see what you're talking about. Because when I go to adjust it, then it wants to tell me that it can't do it for more than 0. I mean, for less than 1 cent. I see exactly what you're talking about. And kind of why, and it's these things right here that why I chose not to use Streamlabs for all requests, because it won't accept what I'm doing. But if I come off this page, it's already set to 0. So I'm not understanding why it's not letting us set it to 0. What I would recommend, Miss Classy, is just come off the browser and switch over to Streamlabs OBS and see if you can do it there. And I didn't see you sneak in the room, DJ Onyx Hart. What's going on? Yeah, Onyx Heart, I do have a oh. Well, if you're in everything is done from the website portion. The only thing you need to do here is go into your sources, select add source, and then over here in your widgets section, you have media share. So once you select your media share, then you select add source. Once you add source, you click add a new instance, add a new source instead, I'm sorry. Once you click that and turn that on, it'll ask you to name the widget. One second, now I got two instances of the same thing. Let me remove. Yes. So once you do that, it brings you to this page. And in here, I'm curious, what does it say as far as the price per second? And I see DJ Houseboy on the Facebook side. What happens if you move it down? If you put in 0, because it lets you type in there, it doesn't. Let me try it. So if I put 0 and go to the next field and put 0 and go to the next field, it doesn't give me that error message. That's probably how I got around it the first time. Okay, did it? It didn't give you an error message. So once you got that in, you just select done. Once you select done, it is on your screen. So now to try it out, and since you're still in OBS Studio or Streamlabs OBS, I'm sorry. If you look at your mini feed, you have a bunch of different options. And can you see how I'm highlighting them here? You actually want to pop out your event filter. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. Oh, the musical icon, duh. Click the music icon for your media share. It brings up your recent events folder. Now, all you have to do is go either in OBS or in your chat and type in a video. So what I will do here is I will go to YouTube. Okay, so that didn't work. And I went to his particular page because he is this is the brains behind the music that we're listening to. He is the producer, sound engineer, and he has given me permission to use his music so I don't have to worry about copyrights. So I'm just looking for one that's his music. and not necessarily him DJing. And here's his tracks here. And you hear the YouTube commercial playing in the background. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to pause it here. So you don't see this music icon right here where it says pop-up media controls. If you can't do it from OBS, we can go back to the browser. I can show you where to do it from there. But it should be in Streamlabs where you can see it. And you don't see the music option next to it. So you see this screen that I have up right here where it says recently played. Then we may have to do it from the actual Streamlabs website. So if we go to the Streamlabs website, you want to look for recent events. And then media share. Were you able to find it on the website?
Broadband. Broadband.
So your recent events section is blank and it doesn't have the tabs across the top? Right, if we can't find it on Streamlabs, you're on the Streamlabs website now. So let's do a search and type in your recent events in the search bar across the top like I'm doing. And then clicking it there and see if it loads. Right, so the tab should be going across the top of the event section, and then you would see pretty much what I'm seeing here: media share, and then new. If it's, I want to say if it's not there, it's not much that I can do. Because that section is the section that starts everything from running, because from there you can test it, because you can put the command in the room, the video in the chat, but if you can't get to the screen to hit start, it won't play. Okay, Miss Classy, we can do a one-on-one. what I'll do, Miss Classy, is when you're feeling better, give me a call, and what we can do is we can do a team viewer connection, and then I can actually look at you can go I can watch you go through it and see why you're not seeing what I'm seeing. And then DJ Onyx Hart, you wanted me to yeah, that will slow it down at times. But you wanted me to see. Can you show me the profile thingy? And I'll put it so that y'all are reading what I'm reading. Pin chat. And we was almost there. We're closer than you believe. We're just one step away. We're just ready to test it, and you're ready to go. So we'll get it together. Onyx Hart says, DJ The Forest, can you show me the profile thingy you were telling me last night when you get a moment, because I'm not sure how to make a secondary profile. Oh, okay. The profile for OBS. You're in OBS Studio, which has not been my friend lately, but I'll bring it up. Which has not been my friend lately. I'll bring it up. So here's OBS Studio. So what you can do is you have separate profiles. You can create multiple profiles. You can create multiple scene collections. That's really what I was talking about, scene collections. So what you can do here is you can create a new scene collection, and then you start from scratch, and then you add the things that you want to add to it. So to give you an example, what we're looking at now is what I use on the OBS side when I'm streaming music. When I switch over to Tech Talk, which I'm doing now, I would actually go to scene collection, and then I would actually click on this, which is my scene that I set up for Tech Talks. So this is what I did in OBS for Tech Talks. Now, these are a whole totally different set of scenes. They're not attached to the other scenes that are running in OBS. So now all the other scenes and all the other videos and pictures are now no longer in memory, no longer taking up RAM. So now I'm only using these few scenes here, which I don't have a lot of stuff going on. And if you kind of notice, when I switched over, and I'll switch back to show you the difference. When I switched over here, because I don't have as much stuff running, it's flipping through everything at a good pace. If I take my scene collection and I go back to, and I even have a scene collection for Miss Sexy E. If she uses my system, these are her scenes. So if I go back to DJ The Forest Twitch, now I've loaded all those other scenes and all those other videos that are set for my music streams up. And if you kind of notice the hesitation that you're now getting is because all those videos and stuff that I set under these scenes over here and these sources over here are now running, so it slowed everything down. So what I suggested to you last night is if you're going to do multiple types of streaming so that you don't get OBS so bogged down, you can actually create a separate scene collection. For an example, when you get into tax season and you want to start doing your taxes, you can actually have a tax scene collection that's just for your taxes, and then you don't have to load all those, you don't necessarily have to load all those transitions and all those videos. You can actually just set up your basic scene, put up your alerts or your browser sources, and leave it at that. That's kind of what I was saying, because it helps your stream, it helps OBS run better, because after so long of OBS being on, it is now, if I take my scene collection and I go, if you see now it's flowing normal. When we first came over here, it was stuttering because it was trying to load all that stuff at one time. I'm learning through OBS. Part of our problem is we keep recreating the different scenes instead of copying the scenes. A lot of people don't realize that you can go here and you can copy it and then paste it into the next scene, as opposed to going to the next scene and recreating it. So, which I have to clean up here. I have to actually, over the next few weeks, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick a main screen, one screen. That's kind of what I was saying. Exactly. So what I'm going to end up doing is picking one scene. I'm going to wipe all this clean, as far as not so much the names, but so much the if you see now it's flowing normal. So much the different things, like these are all my browser sources. I have multiple cameras in here, more browser sources. What I'm going to do is, for an example, take all these sources and delete them. Then come back up here, and instead of recreating the scene, the source in the new scene, I'm going to copy it from the existing scene over to the new scene, so there's only one instance of that particular thing. I have an echo. Exactly. So what I'm going to end up doing is picking one scene. Oh, I know why. I'm going to wipe all the... Now the echo should be gone, because I have two OBSs up. So I've killed OBS Studio sound so that the echo should be gone. Is that correct? Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so that's what I want to do. I'm going to actually just go through, wipe everything out, and I'm going to start from scratch. And then once I have my main scene, if I want to use it in this scene, instead of recreating it here, I'm going to actually come here and use the copy command. That way it's only one instance of that particular scene running. The way we have been doing it, we've added 4 or 5 different instances of the same scene, and it's running in the background, slowing down OBS. And that, I think that will help us clean up a little bit. You kind of can do that inside of Streamlabs. I believe it was Jess Queen I was talking to about it yesterday, because somebody, it may have not been Jess Queen, somebody downloaded an overlay and they thought they lost everything. It wasn't Jess Queen, it was another streamer. because you have pretty much kind of the same options here in OBS. You got your editor, you got your alert box library, themes, app store, your growing tools, your highlighter, dashboard. That's where I'm at. Dashboard. Nope, that's dashboard. I don't want the dashboard up. This is your what? Layout editor. This is your studio mode. I wonder if it's in settings. Game overlays. I have to look in here to see, but there's a way to do that here too, because it's two concepts behind that. It allows you to be able to create a new scene collection and not interfere with what you're doing. So if you do want to do an upgrade or a premiere with all your new settings, you're not kind of doing it on the same scenes that you're streaming on, so that your streamers actually see a progression. It allows you to actually rebuild a whole new scene, and then just when it's ready to roll, you just play it, as opposed to having the extra scene sitting in your current collection and you're building on the fly, because that's going to take away resources. You're not even using those that scene yet, but you're building it and adding the effects to it, and it's running in the background. If you have it on its own collection, then when you're not working on it, it's turned off, so it's not taken away from your resources. And I hope that answered the question for you. Yes. So with that, I am kind of over time here. I was supposed to end 17 minutes ago, but I'm not going to end out. I want to end out on a positive note, and I do want to let the new streamers know what new features out there. Well, not new feature, but a feature I have discovered thanks to our friend Uber Ant. We have a way where we can actually entertain our followers and listeners by giving them a game that they can play while you're streaming. So I want to demo it one more time, and then after a couple of games of a demo, then I'm going to call it a day for this stream. And a couple of things I want to do. For those of you who didn't get it earlier, I'm going to put the URL in the chat. And I want to switch screens here. So here is the URL, the URL for it. Here's what it looks like. You basically go to the website. It asks you to log into Twitch. Once you're logged into Twitch, you can go to the settings. You can turn on and off the effects, the music. You can set it for autopilot so the game plays by itself. And then here's where you copy the link so that you can put it in your browser source so that they can play the game. So basically, this is like Word for Friends, except you're doing it inside of the chat. What's going to happen is When I start the game, when I hit continue, that's up here, it's going to go to level 2. We started at level 1 already. It's going to actually put up some letters, and then you get to figure out, or you get to type in the words that you think you can make out of the letters that it provides. As you type it in the chat correctly, it gives you credit for it, and then it gives you a score once the round is over with. So I want to demo it a couple of times because I'm probably going to use it on a future stream, because I like to have interaction of different things for our listeners to do. So in addition to the dad jokes and then to the weather, I now have a game that they can actually play at segments. I'm going to probably do it in segments during the chat or during the stream. So when I go ahead and before I hit continue to start the game, I want to switch over to the actual game. That may help out. That may help out. The combination of what I'm saying and that may help you out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually start the game, and then it's going to put up a puzzle, and then we get to actually type in the chat to fill in the blanks. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. So now all you have to do is see if you can figure out words inside of here, and as you type them, name I find in there, it actually gives you credit for it. There you go, Onyx Heart. Exactly. And then there is no cheating because it's registering you based on you typing into the chat. So there's nobody to say, hey, that didn't go in right. If you didn't type it right, it won't give you the credit. See, I typed it in after you, Onyx Heart, so you got credit for it. Every time I think of it, he puts it in. So once the game is over with, it tells you how many words you want hit. And if you get enough words, it takes you to the next level, and then it gets a little more difficult. And then it tells you who won what. So as you can see, it says that I'm in the lead overall total with Miss Sexy E following me, followed by DJ Onyx Heart. But in level 2, DJ Onyx Heart is ahead of DJ The Force. So that's a new feature that you can add to give some fun to the game or to the stream, so that you're able to entertain your streamers while you're actually streaming. Give them more content that they can engage, that they can interact with. They can interact with the streamer as well as other people in the chat. So, because we didn't get enough words, we did not. Let me see something. So there is an option in there that I did not even realize to just now. I'm going to show it to you guys so that you can see it. So I need to switch back to the Tech Talk. So when we come here, there's a reward section. So here you can actually assign what you want to do. So it says fill in the blank below with the command you use to distribute points, coins, nicknames, or whatever to indicate these values. So if I put in here explanation points, every time we go through a level, it's going to add points to channel points to the subscriber, not subscriber, to the listener, follower, subscriber, not just a subscriber. And then from there, you can be able to send them information, rewards based on their performance in the stream. You can do it there and then in your total ranking area. So you can actually set it up to that you can give out points with each level and then an overall points at the end. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to first switch back over to the game. And then I'm going to start it up and see what we can get. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, hit it. And that round is over. We got 6 out of the 21. Yep, with each level, it gets harder and harder. So I slightly beat Onyx Heart right there on that one, just by a few points. We're going to give it another try because it started us over at level 1, even though it was harder. Let's see what we can do one more time here. So we got 6 out of 13 words. See, this could be a very fun game to have your people being able to interact with each other and play the game while you're doing your stream. Isn't that an awesome feature? And that's basically all I have. For this stream, and I'm looking over to the I'm looking over to see who's streaming right now, so we can raid over to another awesome streamer. I know that DJ Scribble and DJ Just Queen 410 have a Tuesday night mini raid train going on called the Tuesday Tickler. So what I want to do is go ahead and raid over to them. I do thank everybody for coming in and tuning in today. I appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all schedule. Come spend time with your boy, DJ The Force. Hang on for the raid. That's the part you miss. YouTube and Facebook. I just sent them over to raid another awesome DJ. That's what you get. If you're interested in joining in with us, please come over to the Twitch side, www.twitch.tv/DJ The Force. And I'll say this, unlike the other two channels here, Twitch does not block us or stop us from streaming. They let us stream our music, they let us stream our tech talks, and we don't have to deal with copyrights. That's why I'm only on Facebook and YouTube once a week, because I have a show that I know I don't have any copyrights issue with. But I do thank y'all for joining in. You have yourself an awesome day. I hope the streaming tips help you make you a better streamer.